Doesn't look like Justin Trudeau's plan on inflation is working after all. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. Canada had an inflation rate of 4% in the month of August. That from the latest data put out by Statistics Canada. 4%. That's a lot higher than what they were talking about back in July when Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland basically declared victory over high inflation. In that month, Stats Canada said that inflation had dropped to 2.8%. That was almost entirely driven by a giant drop in the price of gas compared to a year earlier. Freeland should have known that, but still, she was out making comments saying that things were working. She said in an interview with reporters, called it a milestone moment. She posted on Twitter that Canada's plan to bring down inflation is working. Well, didn't work out in the end after all, did it? What's driving inflation now? Just the essentials: gasoline, housing, food, stuff that you can do without. It's incredible the way that inflation has bounced back, and we can expect more. I'll explain that in a moment, but right now, well, we're talking about mortgages being driven up 30% compared to a year ago. Mortgage costs up 30%, but rents also being driven up. Stats Canada saying that the increase in interest rates is having a knock-on effect throughout the housing market. So if you're out in Nova Scotia, rents have gone up more than 9%, more than 8%. In Newfoundland and Labrador, 6.5% in Ontario, 6.5% in Alberta, 6.1% in Manitoba, and 6.9% in Ontario. Things are getting tough, whether you're renting or owning or trying to buy. It's harder. And then putting food on your plate, that is still more difficult. Food inflation has cooled slightly to 6.9% from 8.5% the month before. And prior to that, it was 9-10% inflation on average for food. But some items are still up there. Check this out. From Stats Canada, what are we looking at? We're talking about an extra 8.9% for chicken in August. Coffee and tea up 9%. Cereal products up 9.8%. And beef 11.9% higher than the year before. Gasoline, yeah, it's up, but this is how weird inflation is. Stats Canada said without gas, inflation would actually be at 4.1%. So gas has helped bring up the core inflation rate, but it's not the overall driving factor in this. We're going to see more inflation in the coming months. Why? Home heating costs are going up. In Atlantic Canada, they're just going to get hit with the carbon tax and the clean fuel standard on home heating oil. This is the first winter they're going to have to deal with that. That's going to push up the cost of inflation, or the rate of inflation. Gasoline prices still rising. That's going to drive it up. All of this gets passed on to food. The price of food is going to go up because the cost of gas is going to go up. This is something that we know will happen. So next month, we'll see even higher inflation. And just a few days after that report is released, the Bank of Canada is going to look at raising interest rates again on October 25th. They've already said that if inflation goes higher, they're going to have to look at raising rates, which will, of course, in turn, drive inflation even higher still. We are in a horrible predicament, and we are not at the place of victory that Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland claimed 2 months ago. Instead, we're in a spiral of rising prices that's hitting family budgets and businesses where it hurts. It's got to end. They've got to do something. Pierre Poilievre putting out a statement saying it's time for Justin Trudeau to cut his inflationary spending, cut the deficits, and axe the taxes that are driving this up, like the carbon tax. Let me know what you think. Are you being hit by this? What do you think the government should do? You can drop a comment down below. Share this on social media where you're still allowed. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.